think Thomas may truly know the exit. Thomas uses the distraction to bring down the guards holding him, and Minnow keeps Gally still by threatening him with his blade. Then Thomas announces he and his little team are leaving, and everyone is welcome to join them. Gally thinks he's crazy, but half of the boys enter the maze with them. After lots of running, the new group makes it to Section 7 and finds a griever guarding the tunnel. The teens rush down the bridge and attack the beast, surrounding it with their spears and blades. They start pushing while dodging the attacks from the tail, which still manages to throw a boy off the bridge. During the struggle, Teresa attacks a mechanical leg and it accidentally hits the device, causing it to fly off. Chuck immediately runs to retrieve it and ends up on the edge of the bridge, where he sees a second grieve climbing up. Thankfully, Teresa pulls Chuck back before he falls. With lots of effort, the boys keep on pushing and eventually manage to throw the griever into the abyss, only for 2 more grievers to appear on the bridge. While the boys hold them back and lose more people, Teresa and Chuck take the device to the door to open it and reveal the tunnel. The duo runs inside and finds another door that won't open without an 8 code number. Thomas concludes it must be the sequence of the maze sections, which Minnow starts reciting. Before he can finish, a griever jumps from above and lands on top of him. One of the guys rushes in as a distraction, so the griever catches him instead and Minnow is saved. As the group begins moving back to hide in the tunnel while still keeping the grievers at bay, Minnow finishes telling the number sequence and Teresa uses it to open the door. The walls in the tunnel start closing again and Thomas throws a spear at the grievers to keep them back until they're crushed. Afterward, the group crosses the door and finds a corridor in a modern building with actual electricity. They walk through it until they find another door that says exit. Behind it there's a lab filled with dead scientists and guards. In the main room there are computers with security cameras that confirm the scientists have been watching the glade all along. When Thomas presses a button, a recording begins playing on the screen showing the woman from his dreams. Dr. Ava is the director of WICKED, which stands for Operations of the World Catastrophe Kill Zone Department. She explains that if they're watching this, it means they've successfully completed the maze trials, which exist for a reason. Many years ago, the sun scorched Earth and billions of lives were lost to fire and famine. Afterward, a virus known as the flare took over the world. It attacks the brain and makes people violent. They used to believe it was uncurable, but eventually an immune generation was born and the scientists started experimenting on those kids to find the cure. The kids were put inside harsh environments like the glade to study their brain activity, but not everyone agreed with these methods, so WICKED kept it a secret. The video ends with Ava self-deleting with a gun. As the group tries to process this information, another door opens. Before they can move, Gally appears behind them and Teresa notices he's been stung. Gally says there's no freedom out there and opens fire at the same time that Minnow throws a spear at him to kill him. Unfortunately, the stray bullet hits Chuck, who gives Thomas his little doll and thanks him before dying. While the group cries for their lost friend, a bunch of armed men appear to drag them out of the lab. A helicopter is waiting for them outside to take them away. Meanwhile, Ava is still alive and telling her colleagues that Thomas has taken the bait, so phase 2 begins. Thanks for watching.